Postmaster Sanjay, Toy Story 3, Postmaster Sanjay.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. So, I have a question for you today. How many of you are alone in this world? What I mean to say is, you don't have any friends, you don't have any family, you don't have any colleagues, nobody. Is there anybody like that? I guess we don't have any hands. We all live in a society and we have somebody on the other around us in our lives. It can be friends, family, colleagues, relatives, close relatives, distant relatives, difficult relatives, confusing, right? Difficult relatives. There are some relatives which you meet at ceremonies and they'll come to you and they'll ask you, hey son, what's your percentage this year? What? Only 95? Only? Ha! Look at my son, 99.9% and still counting for more. Then there's this other guy who comes up to you and says, hey son, what are you doing? Engineering, wow. Which year? Last year, huh? So, placed already? Which company you are joining? You don't have a job still now? How come? These are the difficult relatives that I was talking about. Then we have the gossip aunties. They have their own Toastmaster meetings, the kitty parties, where they do a lot of public speaking. You know, there are random topics in there. What was the food menu in Mishraji's house today? By the way, what is the color of Pandaji's car? Hey, who is that lady in Sharmaji's house? They can be trademarked as the Ministry of External Affairs in the society. And then you have some frantic neighbors, random uncles, horrible gruesome aunties. There are a lot of people around you. But do you really know what kind of people they are? Well, you can say they are short, tall, thin, fat, black, white, grey, red, yellow, green, magenta. In short, they are colorful. But what I want to say is not about their color or their shape or size. I'm talking about something different over here. And to tell you more about what I'm talking about, let me share a small story with you. There was a class teacher who came to class one day and decided that today I need to give my students a lesson on life. What she did is, she brought 3 toys in the class. And she asked the students, okay students, you need to tell me the difference between these 3 toys. Now these 3 toys were similar in shape, size, structure and build. The students started looking for any difference if they can find. They looked and looked and looked. It seems almost identical. The whole classroom was quiet. And suddenly, like in the movie Bahubali, there was Shivagami's hand and up came another hand from among the students. It's none other than the bright child, Alia Bhatt. She found out that there are different types of holes in the toys. The first toy had 2 holes in both the ears. The second toy had 1 hole in the ear and the other hole in the mouth. The third toy had only 1 hole. She told the teacher. The teacher said, okay, that's good. Now I want all of you to do a little activity. She gave everybody a needle and she asked all the students to put a needle through that ear hole. Everybody followed the teacher. For the first toy, the needle went in and it went out of the second ear. For the second toy, it went in and came out of the mouth. For the third toy, it went in and it never came out. So the teacher asked, so students, what did you learn from this? The students thought, and as none of them were either Albert Einstein or Rajnikant, they were merely normal students, they could not answer. one student even said, "Ma'am, this theory about all these holes, it's very confusing. In one hole, my needle gets stuck. In the other hole, it just comes out of the other ear. For the third hole, I got a pinch." So the madam started explaining. The first toy is like that group of people who will listen to you, who will show the impression that they care for you, think for you, but actually they don't. Their concern is false and fake. Like a hollow water pipe, your words will get in from one side and go out the next. So be careful when you are talking to these kind of people. The second toy. These are the group of people who will listen to you very carefully and they will show as if they care for you very much. But they are the great descendants of the great Narad Muni. Like in the second toy, the words will go in and come out of the mouth. They will use your own words and your own problems and your own secrets and your problems and predicaments for their own purpose, aspiration and ambitions. They will hurt you most when you need them the most. You should be very careful when speaking to these kind of people. The third toy are those kind of people whom you can really trust. They are the true-hearted and the real friend. They are the knights in shining armor for you. You can trust them. You can share each and every secret with them. So, you have all these people around you. These are the three kinds of people I wanted to tell you about. And you need to choose what kind of people you want to be around. Because you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people you want to be around. You should always choose to be around people who are like the third type, loyal, trustworthy, solid as a rock. So choose wisely. Remember, the people you choose to be around is your freedom, it's your choice, but you also have to face the consequences of your choice. Over to you, Sanjay.